Hey, Aquarius. Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to bring in your February 2025 love and family reading. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right, welcome. Aquarius, you have gone through some sort of ending or rebirth process here. You have the Coffin card, which talks about new beginnings, liberation, being reborn and transitioning into a new phase of your life. Yeah, you have the Tower here. So I feel like you're rebuilding after perhaps living life a certain way for quite some time. So some of you, how would you like this, Spirit? Thank you. Some of you are dealing with an energy, whether this be a family member, this could be a lover, it could be a friend. You are dealing with someone who was hiding their true feelings. They may have been wearing a bit of a mask. And I feel like if this was you, Aquarius, you've really worked on coming out of a period of denial and rebuilding a much happier, more abundant, prosperous life. And that may have required a complete up-leveling of a situation or a relationship. And I feel like you've been working on your outdated beliefs, thinking, or conditioning. Because in the past position, you have the old school card here. The old school card reminds me a bit of the Eight of Swords, where we replay the same story or event over and over and over in our heads. We can't quite get out of that scenario. We're trying to wrap our head around something. We're trying to understand it, pick it apart. Aquarius, you may tend to do that at times, being an air sign. I'm an Aquarius moon with a Libra sun, so double air placements. We want to figure things out. We want to get to the bottom and understand, because when we fully understand, we can grow. We can move to the next level. And I do see here in your present energy, there is a liberation. You have the Tower in your reading here as well. So this is a new beginning. Your life is shifting here for the better. In your future position, you have the Four of Wands. That is celebration. That is marriage, togetherness. So I feel like you are heading towards the type of commitments that are based on authenticity, honesty, happiness, joy, and love, instead of feeling like you had to be a part of some sort of dysfunctional relationship. You have the Two of Cups in reverse in the past. So you may have been stuck between a rock and a hard place. You may have had a difficult decision to make. Do I stay or do I go? If I stay, this is going to break my heart. If I go, this is going to break my heart or break their heart. But I feel like you had to do what was best for you, what you were called to do intuitively. What's the outcome here, please? I love this reading for you. Stay tuned. Aquarius, this is quite intense. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Ace of Wands here. So after a couple of delayed starts, if you will, I feel like you're finally up and moving forward. You're finally moving towards the new beginning that you've been wanting for quite some time, but you may have been stuck in the remnants of some sort of an ending, because the Coffin card here is putting something to rest. And you don't immediately put the coffin in the ground and then the next day you have this whole new life. You go through a grieving process. You go through mourning or understanding. You go through maybe even a hermiting stage as well. And we are in the year of the Hermit. We're in a 9 year. So this is a year of really taking a look at our heart and our soul. With Pisces being in the North Node, this year for us is asking, does this feel right? Does this connect on a spiritual and intuitive level? And if not, what do I need to do to break out of old patterns, old conditioning, and outdated thinking? Now, Aquarius, you do have the mask showing up here in the future position. And it doesn't feel like there is someone that is wearing a mask that you have to be aware of. That's not what I'm getting, not with your future cards. But to me, this is you saying, I am not going to hide my feelings for life, for relationships. I am going to be authentic. I am going to show up every single day as the best version of myself that I can possibly be. I am living in my truth. And that is a powerful, powerful place to be, because so many people walk around wearing this mask, hiding behind pain, hiding behind walls because they've been hurt. And not saying here that you haven't been hurt, but you've put something to rest. And I feel like it's some pain that you've gone through. You've put it to rest. And I say that because you have the Sun, you have the Ace of Pentacles, and your outcome is delicious. So you're definitely moving forward, and you recognize the red flags when you come up against them. You have this intuitive knowledge because you've gone through scenarios where people were not being the best version of themselves, where they were hiding, pretending, and maybe putting on a facade, or that was a part of you. You may have done that, and you recognize it now. And once you recognize it, once you understand it, you can wrap your head around it, you can change that belief. And that's what you're doing. You are changing out of an old belief that it took you a long time, is what I'm feeling. For some of you, I'm getting 3 to 5. So some of you, it feels like either 3 years ago or 5 years ago, or maybe the last 3 to 5 years. And for others of you, it's taken a lot longer, maybe the last decade. This could be a family member, Aquarius. This could be an ex or a lover, a friend. So starting off, you have the King of Wands. King of Wands is a really cool person when he's in the upright and he's living authentically from a place of love and healthy ego, in a sense. Yes, there's such a thing. He feels good about himself. He is adventurous, and he doesn't care what other people think. And not in an arrogant or cocky way, because he's in the upright. He's not in the reverse here. And I feel like he is you. He or she, doesn't matter if you are female or male, but this is the masculine energy of the King of Wands. He is an influencer. He marches to the beat of his own drum. He is very active, very passionate, very goal-oriented. He's out there living his best life. And I feel like that is the trajectory that you are leading here. And because that is your energy, your vibration, you could attract that very same energy. So some of you, this is who you are attracting. If you are currently in a dynamic here, for those of you that are in a relationship, I feel like you're really looking at the cracks in the foundation, and you're saying, what do we need to do here in order to live our best lives? Whether that be together or separately, we have to honor our true authentic selves. So there could be a difficult conversation or a time of rebuilding here if you are currently connected. But for a lot of you, I see that there has been a bit of a shakeup here, possibly an ending, maybe even a death for some of you. You could even be widowed. And I see with this King of Wands, you may be very, very successful in other areas of your life, such as your career, or you may have an abundance here of friends, or you feel really good about a certain area, and now you're able to put those puzzle pieces together and say, okay, now I can be successful in matters of the heart. Now I can be connected spiritually as well, more so to other people. This is genuine spiritual connections, is the King of Wands. So there's also excitement here. Some of you, you may have a different cultural background. Perhaps you want to explore the world and maybe go on adventures. I mean, he is out there living his best life. And whether he is by himself, he meets people along the way. He talks it up with new people, new energies. He is not going to hole himself up and not show up because of old outdated conditioning that were lies, okay? Old stories that he told himself of why he can't go out and have the life that he dreams. Now, crossing you is the Tower. The Tower here is basically an explosion of outdated beliefs, kind of going in all different directions. And I feel like you are questioning, right? You have the old school card and you are questioning. Now, the Tower, a lot of times, is internal. It is taking a look at what's going on in here. And if it doesn't align in our outside worlds, we got some changing to do, right? So that will show up in your outer world after there's an awakening within, because the Tower can be a spiritual awakening. And oftentimes this King of Wands, remember, the Wands is the element of spirit, of creativity, of passion, of willpower, of inspiration. So it feels like you've been inspired here to take the reins on your life and rebuild something that feels a lot more authentic to you. Now, what's below you? You have the Six of Wands in reverse. Six of Wands is one of my favorites because it talks of hard work, accomplishment, achievement, and victory. It's being recognized, but not necessarily just by others, but it's about you recognizing your soul's truth. Again, it's a wand. So this is our spirit. And you're not going to let something break your spirit here, Aquarius. You see that he is wheelchair bound. But does that stop him from taking his shot? Does that stop him from getting out there on the basketball court and shooting some hoops? So even if you feel handicapped by a situation physically, mentally, emotionally, you have just as much of a shot, just like anyone else does, to fall in love, to be in love, to have your best life, to explore, to go on adventures. And there's been a fall from grace. There has been a situation here where you felt unrecognizable, you felt alienated, or you felt like a failure. But what's happening is through this experience, you've been humbled in a way. Through this experience, I feel like you've been taking a look at relationships that were based on truth and authenticity, relationships that brought harmony and balance. And because the Two of Cups is in the recent past, I just feel like there were people who may have rejected you, or perhaps they weren't willing to let love in, or this could be a part of yourself that even felt very separated from an energy while you were together. And that is what is being evaluated. That is what is being brought up to the surface here. Because what's above you is a finalization. Here's the 9 energy of 2025 that adds up to a 9. We're in a 9 year. You have the 9 of Wands. So look at all of this fiery, passionate, spiritual energy here. The 9 of Wands is the energy of the wounded warrior. However, it is an external hurdle that you can overcome, or internal for that matter, that will lead to some external changes. But you have what it takes because there's a reignited sense of bravery. There's a renewed sense of determination here. And because you're not giving up, kind of goes back to that scene here below you with this gentleman in this wheelchair taking his shot. I feel like this is it. This is the winning point. This is the game point here for you, because what's ahead is absolutely incredible. You have the 4 of Wands, 11-11 energy, celebration. Some of you, it's a new home. It could be moving in together with someone. It is stability, family, foundation, and harmony. It is a beautiful energy of connectivity. And I feel like you're in a very, very happy place moving forward with the decisions that you have made or with the healing that you have done. And there is someone here with you, or if they're not currently, you're calling them in. So the Four of Wands is manifestation. You have manifested, you have hit this peak level. Like I said earlier, this guy, because he's been practicing, he's not given up. And at times he's wanted to give up. He's felt like he's failed, but he says, wait a second, I have one last game in me. I have one last shot. And that shot is the game changer. Now in your energy, you have the Ace of Pentacles. And I love that these are all in the upright position, aside from your hopes and fears, which we'll talk about here. But the Ace of Pentacles is the start of a new life. It's a very, very profound energy. The Ace of Pentacles is a positive reward for your hard work. It's a gift. All aces are gifts. So I see you unwrapping this gift. I see that you are excited here to venture forward on your own or with someone, completely up to you. But this is physical health. It is possibly an inheritance even. Some of you, there may have been a bittersweet energy around the coffin, okay? Because this can represent an inheritance. There could be a settlement or money coming your way that helps take the pressure off. It helps you feel like you can move forward a little bit. And I know they say money can't buy happiness, but it certainly can help you here on the 3D realm. And I see with the Ace of Pentacles, this is a manifestation of something physical, tangible, specifically, money or health, or even a new home. And you're ready. You are opening up your hands to receiving this blessing. Now in your environment here, Aquarius, you have the sun. This is beautiful. There is enlightenment here. Okay, light at the end of the tunnel with that tower. It feels like the shakeup was for the better. You've gone through, a situation that may have been scary, as the tower is, because it can be sudden change. And when we are thrusted into change, we tend to fear the unknown. We tend to fear, what's going to come out of this? How is this going to be moving forward? That's why we're here watching tarot, right? That's why you want to really tap into your spiritual self, but you're also telling yourself here, everything is going to be okay. There are brighter days ahead. I have the people that are important to me in my life. And there could even be news this month of someone giving birth. Okay, you could become an aunt or an uncle or a mom or a dad or a grandparent with the sun. This reminds me of the Lion King when he holds Simba up for all the pride to see. And I feel like you are excited here about whatever is coming to light within you, externally around you. The sun is the happiest energy here. It's vitality and confidence and playfulness. It is success and warmth. You are heading towards what makes you happy. Beautiful. Now, hopes and fears. You do have the Three of Swords. So the Three of Swords here is heartbreak. Now, it is in your hopes, it is in your fears. Not saying anyone is hoping for heartbreak, but what you are hoping for is that this can be overcome or avoidable, that you're able to manage it, deal with it, that you can heal from it. The Three of Swords is also in the reverse position or the healing position. It is being able to take a look at any of the unresolved emotional pain and open up again. Love after loss. It is you putting yourself out there and allowing yourself to be vulnerable and hoping for the best, right? Hoping for the best, but you've gone through challenge. You've gone through heartache and strife. You've gone through grief. But because you have been working on this outdated thinking or conditioning, I feel like you've been retraining that brain because it's like a muscle. We have to condition it daily. We have to continue telling ourselves the story that we want in our lives. Because that's what your brain is hearing. That's what your reality is, manifesting as. Whatever it is you tell it, your beliefs. If you tell yourself that you're going to be in this pain forever, you're going to be alone, you're going to be isolated, that this is going to end in disaster, what do we tend to do as we self-catastrophize? We self-sabotage our happiness. And I feel like you don't want to do that, because perhaps someone has done that or you have done that in the past. Now the outcome here, the outcome is the Queen of Cups. This is beautiful because it does tell me here that you are fostering genuine connections. You are a lover. You are someone who's very compassionate and nurturing, extremely intuitive as well. So we do see a king and a queen here in your energy. So I feel like there's someone that you're currently connecting with that you are going to grow and evolve with, possibly marry, move in together, maybe have children together. I don't feel like this is someone from the past who has hurt you. Okay, I'm just going to put that out there. I mean, for some of you, very small percentage, it could be someone that you have disconnected from and you are rebuilding. And you're taking a look at the behaviors, and maybe the behaviors are something that is shifting here between you and that person. And you do have the ability to heal, bring things to light, and to come together and open your heart to love for a small percentage of you. I'm also getting the name here, Megan. Megan or Maggie could be significant. Now, Aquarius, you have a lot of love to give. And this Queen of Cups, she's very intuitive. She's a healer. She's empathic. She's psychic herself. She may have prophetic dreams. You may even be, if this is you, again, if this is you or the King of Wands is you, you may be having dreams of connecting to someone here. So really pay attention. The dreams are being highlighted, not just the dreams that you have in your sleep state, but your daydreams as well. So the Queen of Cups is showing up in a very strong yet vulnerable position, not in a vulnerable position of attack. But remember, Aquarius, vulnerability is our greatest strength. It means that you're opening your heart up, even though that heart could end in heartbreak, as maybe it has before. But it's worth giving it a chance. It's worth opening up and living your best life. And I feel like you've also done a lot of self-love work, a lot of self-care. So wrap yourself up in a big hug and trust that whatever is ahead of you is far, far, far better than anything you are leaving behind. All right, let's take a look here and get a message from the wisdom of the oracle. What do we have, please, for Aquarius? Mending, card 52. Yes. I mean, some of you, like I said, if this is a family member that you've had a falling out with, I feel like there is an opportunity here to mend and come together to rebuild. There may have even been a death in the family. There may have been a situation that had ended and it kind of pulled everyone in a different direction. And now could be the time for a reuniting energy. This is about forgiveness, making amends, healing after arguments. Each time we are hurt and allow the hurt to pass through us without understanding and integration, we accumulate an unwanted burden. This keeps us chained to the very things we need to heal, the pain, the memories, the echoes of resentments, the arguments that we rehearse over and over again in our heads. There's the old school. Now is the time for mending rifts, healing wounds, and letting go of the old hurts in order to reclaim your power. Now is the time to forgive, to release, to make peace, and to make amends to others. Set yourself free. You've come to a place where forgiveness is necessary if you are to move forward. Separate or together, you and the other person are still experiencing the effects of a hurt that is impacting everything you do. Even if you're not aware of it, the energy needs to be clear. What must you do to bridge this gap? Closing your heart is not the answer. That's why your outcome is the Queen of Cups in the upright position, because what does she do when she's in the reverse? She closes her heart. And I feel like you are saying, I don't want to do that here. I want to make amends. You have the power to heal this wound. Ask yourself, what would love do? Only good will come out of forgiveness and an honest redress. That's beautiful. Now, because we do have the fear of the heartbreak, I'm going to read to you the protection message because it may resonate with some of you that are still feeling the effects of this wound. It says, heartbreak is a strange healer of souls. Our grief strips us away and masks, it strips away our masks. Here's the mask. And loosens our tight hold on separateness as we view ourselves as I and the world as it. Loss allows us to see ourselves as a part of the larger scheme, opening us up to sympathy, empathy, and dependence on others in the moment when we can't hold ourselves together, and it leads us to become one with the greater whole again. Pain and suffering is a part of life, and none of us will be immune to it. Can you view this loss, this pain, this dissonance as a way back to source? That's that Queen of Cups, a way back to the heart. I think it's Marianne Williamson. Is that her name? Williams or Williamson? She has a book called A Way Back to the Heart, something along those lines. And I'm getting that here for some of you. If this reading resonates with you, check that book out. That could give you extra tools to work on what we're talking about here. It says, you will never, ever be left behind. You are loved now more than ever by Spirit, who does not want you to feel alone. One day you will look back and know this truth. And for a lot of you, I would say 80% of you, the one day is now. That's the sun. That's why the sun is here, because now you're able to see why there was a shakeup, why something happened the way that it did, or you're able to wrap your head around it. And like it says, it strips us of our mask. And that's what I was feeling earlier on in your reading. I didn't feel like this is someone coming in that you have to be worried or concerned about. I feel like the mask is being stripped off, allowing you to fully embrace that Queen of Cups, to fully embrace the Four of Wands, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Sun. So Aquarius, you have a bright, quite literally, a bright future ahead here. Keep that heart open to love. Regardless of what has gone on in the past, you have every ability to overcome the setback. You have every ability to overcome the feeling of failure or being overlooked or even unrecognizing those parts of yourself. Everything is working here in perfect divine order, and you're getting a taste of what that sweet success looks like. Thank you so much for tuning in here, Aquarius. If you like this, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And thank you again so much. Lots of love.